Welcome to another edition of the show. We're going to talk soccer, volleyball, and begin with football. Colonel's coming off a big homecoming win over Tennessee Martin, 31-21. 4 rushing touchdowns against a team that was top 10 in all the defensive categories in the country and only allowed 3 touchdowns in their first 6 games. How'd you do it, Coach?
Well, they were very, very good on defense. To be honest, we thought it was going to be a little bit more of a lower scoring game than what it ended up being. But we found a couple looks that we really liked. And, we ran a handful of plays, and that was it. We didn't run a whole bunch of different run plays. It was found a couple looks that we found success with, and we kept running them. So tribute to our players going out and executing really, really well, because they presented a lot of problems with different looks and different fronts. And our staff did a great job of finding a couple looks that we felt would be and were successful for us in running the football.
A career high 137 yards for Daryl McCluskey. He had 1 of the team's 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a great day, as I think all of our backs did. We're pretty deep at that position. We felt that all year. We felt that's been a real strength of ours as far as personnel. It just hasn't come to fruition on the football field as far as rushing for a bunch of yards. And this past week, I think you saw what we're capable of there, and that we've got some really good backs. And we had 4 guys carry the ball a significant number of times, and 3 of them found the end zone. All of them did really well, so it was great to see that, and it was great to see our offensive line be able to create the holes for them.
On the defensive side, the team held Tennessee Martin to 1 of 11 on third down conversions. That was the best third down conversion percentage in 10 years.
Yeah, and we haven't been great on third down, and that's been a little frustrating for us defensively, and it's been hard to identify and pinpoint exactly what it is. But I thought our guys did a tremendous job of holding them to having a punt and so forth. 1 of 11, 9%. They did a great job.
Coming in also, they had the leading rusher in the OVC, and you held their rushing attack to 38 yards. That's the lowest total since 2015 for a rushing defense by EKU.
Yeah, all in all, our defense did really, really well. I was very pleased with what they did, and we put them in a couple tough positions as well. There was a couple times where they had short fields, and the guys did a great job. We had a turnover on special teams, and we go out and get a pick right after that and turn the tide. So very pleased with how those guys did. I thought it was a really good day defensively, really good day offensively. We did what we needed to do to win.
And Keith Rusak, again, 9 punts, 49.9 average, no returner back. He sets the school record with an 84-yarder that just barely rolls into the end zone. It was just a typical Keith Rusak day punting the football.
Absolutely. So he had a great day. Obviously, the one went 84 yards, and that ended up being a touchback. You can't really anticipate that he's going to go 84 yards. Right. He really got a hold of it, took a great bounce, and went the distance. The other one that ended up being a touchback, I really don't fault him for that. The snap was off. He got pulled off of where he should be. There was rush coming, and he did a great job to get the ball off quickly. Ended up being a touchback, and he typically doesn't do that, and I don't fault him for that in any way, shape, or form. Really, that was more on the snapper.
Now out on the road for your last 2 road games of the year. It'll begin with the 77th meeting against Murray State, an in-state rival. They're 2-5. Colonels are 2-5. But both teams playing some of their best football right now as we head into this big match at Stewart Stadium.
No question. I think that they're a very good team. They're coming off of a bye week, so they had 2 weeks to prepare, 2 weeks to get healthy, because I think they've probably had a couple injuries like everybody does at this time of the year. And the 2 games before their bye week, you look at what they had done. They played Tennessee Martin at Martin, and Tennessee Martin at the time was top 25 team in the country, and they beat them 13-10. And then Eastern Illinois, who's playing extremely well, they played Eastern Illinois. They took them to double overtime before they ended up getting a field goal blocked to lose the game in double overtime. So that's 2 really good performances in their last 2 games. So they present a lot of problems offensively. They're wide open and able to create big plays quickly. I think defensively they're very, very good. So, and special teams, I think that they're very good as well on special teams in all those categories. So they're going to present problems. We're going to have a great week of preparation.
DeMontre Wade leads them, one of the top interceptors of the football in college football. He has 4 interceptions. Got to mark him in that secondary.
No question. They're leading the conference in turnover margin. They've got the most takeaways in the conference. They've done a really good job of protecting the football offensively. So that's obviously something that we're going to have to do a good job with because they've been exceptional in that category. Wade has been very good. He's got a number of picks. They got 2 defensive ends. That one guy, the Wooten kid, number 30, he's got 6 sacks. Their other defensive end has 4 sacks. So they've got some pretty good personnel that we're going to have to deal with.
It seemed like Eastern handled the 3-man front pretty well last week. This more of a 4-man front for Murray. Are they different defensively than Tennessee Martin?
They are different. They're more of an even front team. They will get into some bear, which they've done at different times, and then they have some odd package stuff here and there for long yardage stuff. But they're more of an even front team. Present a lot of different looks defensively, a lot of different coverages. So we're going to have to do a great job of game planning and installing that, so our guys we can condense that, so our guys have a good grasp of what we're doing.
All right, congratulations on win. Good luck at Murray, Coach.
Thank you.
That's Mark Elder talking EKU football. Our coverage on the radio will be at 100.7 FM. You can catch us online at EKUsports.com and on your phone with the TuneIn app. And you can also catch the game on the OVC Digital Network. Well, we talk about running the football. It was a good week on homecoming for the Colonels. And coming up next, we're going to meet one of the greatest rushers in EKU history, Elroy Harris, now in the Hall of Fame.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
Elroy Harris, the great running back in the mid to late 1980s, joins the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame. Elroy, I read these numbers. 4,555 yards in your career. That's a lot of territory on the football field. Your memories?
I really didn't remember that at all, to be honest, until Carl sent me the list of the records and everything. I didn't recognize any of it. I was just out there having fun.
Yeah, and it was a running team as Roy Kidd had them in the 80s and 90s. And boy, you came out of Florida and you got in the right spot, didn't you?
Yeah, at the same time, you know, I really appreciate Coach Kidd and Coach Leon Hart for coming down and giving me that opportunity to play at Eastern. And, you know, I had a lot of D1 schools that was after me, but I met so many people here that I loved at EKU. I decided to come here.
Yeah. How did being a football player at Eastern Kentucky change your life? I know it would help you grow up, didn't it?
Hey, fast. Being out by yourself, all alone, yeah, fast.
Almost, man, you were close. 1,998 yards in a season, 2 yards away from 2,000 school record. That's a lot of yards in a college football season, 11, 12 games.
Right, and I had a lot of help. You know, I got to give, once again, out to my offensive linemen, and, you know, Coach Kidd, them believing in me, putting the ball in my hands to run.
We were talking about we had fullbacks back then. We had the I formation a lot, right. And you were behind a lot of great fullbacks. One of them was Tim Lester, who went on with a great career in the NFL.
Right, and Tim, like I said before, Tim, he was much smaller than me, you know, and I loved him, but he made blocks for me, and I'm a bigger guy, and loved him, and he was also faster than me, I think. So, yeah. Okay,
2 things I got to ask you. And number one, and I know all the fans that remember you, where's the hair? The hair is gone.
Shocked me with that one. Yeah, the hair's gone, you know, want to look much younger, you know, but yeah, Jerry curl is gone.
You could not be missed on the football field, and you became a beloved member of the fan base, because when you hit the end zone, let me add this up, I think in your career you scored 58 touchdowns, more than any Colonel in the more than 100-year history. You did the backflip.
Yes.
And you had the energy to do it.
Somehow, I don't know how I did it.
Did you do it on your first touchdown?
My first touchdown, my very first touchdown at EKU was about 60 yards, and I used to do it after the game. So I talked with Keith Bosley, you know, and he was like, you know, let's do this after every touchdown. And I was like, I'm tired, but it happened, you know.
Yeah.
Somehow I got the energy to do the backwards flip at the end zone.
As the announcer, I know I get excited, and the fans, I was almost more excited about the celebration than the touchdown. Now, the final question, can you still do a backflip if you absolutely had to?
Definitely not.
But you told me earlier.
I will try.
Off the diving board,
off
baby.
the diving board.
Congratulations,
Thank
Elroy.
you.
Long overdue.
Appreciate it.
That's Elroy Harris. He's now in the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame.
EKU is the campus beautiful. The school of opportunity, where you are always welcome. And it feels like home. We're changing how we look, but our mission is still the same: to help you expand your knowledge, discover your passion, and unlock your purpose. Be a Colonel. Your time is now.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
Welcome back. EKU ends its regular season with a golden goal, and head coach Nick Flohre is here. Big way to close it out over Belmont, 95th minute, first overtime.
It was a great weekend with football winning the day before, and then I think how we played is some of the best soccer we've played all season. So fortunately, we had a lot of emotion with it, with alumni coming in. We had some kids coming in that'll play for us next year, and everybody was good. Defenders were good, midfielders, forwards, goalkeeper. It was a good performance.
It was senior midfielder Allison Werner with her second goal of the season from about 20 yards out. It was a missile to the top part of the goal.
Yeah, she waited till senior year to score the first two goals she's had all college career, but it was great timing because we needed it.
And Belmont was even though Eastern Kentucky dominated the second half with shots on goal, Belmont had a good chance late in regulation, and then they put one on goal that Anna Hall had to save in overtime right before your golden goal.
Right, yeah, the parity with our conference, everybody's going to get a couple good chances, and it's a matter of, I think our goalkeeper came up massive when she needed to. Our defenders came up big another time. You know, the games are so competitive, people are going to get their chances. It's just a matter of which team denies it or which team scores it.
Eastern Kentucky ends up 6-1-3 in the OVC regular season, ties for second, but you lose the tiebreaker to Tennessee Tech, who beat you in Cookeville the week before. So because of the number 3 seed, you host a couple of games in the OVC tournament. One you watch to see who your opponent is, either number 6 Tennessee Martin or number 7 SIU Edwardsville. You'll play on Sunday. I know here comes coach speak, but any preference on who you play on Sunday?
All we know is whoever does win is going to be a big challenge. So it's going to be a very competitive game Friday. We'll be there to watch it. Whoever comes out of it is going to be a tough test for us Sunday.
Tennessee Martin is what kind of team?
Possession-oriented, strong. Very tough to play against.
SIU Edwardsville, you beat Tennessee Martin, you beat SIU Edwardsville there. Yep. They beat you in the OVC Tournament Championship last year, won a game in the NCAA Tournament. Yep. What kind of team are they this year?
They've got some very, very creative players, some players out wide that cause a lot of issues for us in the past, and it's just a matter of whether we can defend well against them.
Last year you got a bye, so you didn't play. The top two teams don't play to the semifinals. This year you have to play. Does that keep you in rhythm? Is that a good thing, or will we know Sunday afternoon?
We'll know Sunday afternoon. Last year we had rest. We had less chance of injury from not having to play a game. This year we can stay in our routine a little bit easier, but it's going to be a tough game. So we'll keep with our normal schedule as far as how we rest the players throughout the week and sort of build into the next weekend. But I'll let you know after Sunday.
Does pressure impact you when you know you have 6 seniors in your lineup? They know this could be their last soccer game. They don't want it to be.
Right.
Does that add a layer of pressure to it? Because soccer's already a pressurized game because it's low scoring.
Yeah, I think it's motivated them. I think it's definitely over the past week they've realized sort of where we are in the season and what's at stake, and they've given a little extra effort just because they don't want it to end. So I think we're going into the tournament in a really good place mentally.
If you win on Sunday in what would be a quarterfinal game, you would get Tennessee Tech, the team that beat you, to get the bye, and that would be down in Murray on November 3rd. So a potential rematch with a team that's beaten you.
It'll be good to play them again. I mean, they were better than us the last time we played them. There's no excuse for what happened with us. They were better than us in every facet of the game. To get a chance to play them again would be great. I think the girls would be excited to have that opportunity. Just to get back to the semis would be a good thing.
Okay, Nick, good luck in the OVC tournament. First time the Colonels have ever hosted a tournament game. Should be exciting out at the soccer field.
Thanks.
All right, that's Nick Flohre. Let's take a look at the bracket here and focus in on Eastern Kentucky. Again, the Colonels will take on the winner of Friday's game, which will be played on the EKU soccer field at 2 o'clock on Friday. That's against UTM and SIU Edwardsville. If the Colonels win, as we said, they would move on to the semifinals, the Final Four being played at the home of the regular season champion, Murray State Racers. But Sunday's game is free. Starts at 1 o'clock. Hope to see you out there to support the Colonels. Next, we're going to check in on another Colonel sport, volleyball, when we come back.
Hit high and deep.
Back of the end zone. Brown got it. Ford drives inside. Put it up. This one swung and missed it.
Now Smith again. Block point Tech. Nice turnaround by Johnson. Near post. Kicked in.
Any place, anytime. Find it here. The OVC Digital Network.
Time now to talk EKU volleyball. The Colonels play 2 matches, Friday and Saturday at home. Now 7-3 in the Ohio Valley Conference and tied for 3rd. And Coach, 2 good road wins after losing 2 at home, and that was a nice bounce back.
Oh yeah, it was always nice to get wins on the road. You know, that's always hard for the girls, traveling, managing school, but 2 wins on the road, especially a sweep with Saturday, was an awesome confidence booster for us.
Let's talk about the sweep over Southeast Missouri. How did you play so well against the Redhawks?
I think this last weekend, our serving has gotten a lot aggressive, and it takes the other teams out of system. Our libero, Chloe Rojas, you know, she tied her career high with 30 digs, and she has just been awesome for us, and her defense was extraordinary this last weekend. And you know, she's really stepped up to the plate, and, you know, she was awarded Defensive Player of the Week, so that really was a big key in our win and sweep this weekend.
Right, currently 4th in the OVC in digs overall, but inside conference play where you really have a close barometer, she is the leader as far as digs, so doing very well. And for those that don't know volleyball very well, I mean, that's the defense. That's, I don't want to say the pass interference, but it's the pass deflected in football. It's the it's the tackle for a loss kind of thing.
Oh yeah, she's the quarterback in the backcourt, and she, you know, leads all of our core, and you know, serve, receive, and digs, so she's awesome.
It took 4 sets to win, not the 5, but 4 against Tennessee Martin. That was the Friday night game on the road. What was the key to that victory?
Same thing, serving was aggressive. I think our offense with our middle core kind of got more involved. Our freshman, Lauren Kalenic, really stepped up to the plate, and same with Selena. You know, we lost our senior outside hitter, Nikki, with an injury, and so Lauren's really stepped up to plate in the outside hitting. So, you know, just those offensive systems has really gotten us in gear.
And so now the Colonels have Belmont on Friday night, followed by Tennessee State on Saturday. It is the first of the 3 final weekends. Unlike soccer, the regular season's not over, still a long way to go. And so what are you looking for here in these final 3 weekends?
You know, Greg, last time we played Belmont and Tennessee State, we were a completely different team. You know, we had Rachel then, and so right now we're running a completely different offensive system, and so they're not really expecting that. And so we're looking to just come after them, our defense, getting our middles involved, and hopefully these next 3 weekends we come out on top and with a win, and then going into the OVC tournament, you know, being on top of that as well.
Right. Everybody talks about peaking at the end of season. You hear that all the time in a long basketball season. Volleyball is the fall version of a basketball season. So how important is it to be playing at your premium level as you head into tournament time?
I think right now is we're at our premium level, like you said, and so that's very important. You know, you see teams in the beginning of conference trying to find their way, and I think right now we're still figuring it out, but we're at a very stable and consistent part right now in our play, and that we're ready to take over. And so I think it's going to be fun to watch us the next 3 weeks and then going into the OVC tournament on top of it.
All right. Good luck to Coach Lori Duncan, you and the rest of the team on this weekend's play.
Thank you.
Again, it's 6 o'clock on Friday against Belmont, followed by a 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon game at Alumni Coliseum, McBrayer Arena against Tennessee State. And that does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. And don't forget, you can keep up with Colonel Sports wherever you are. Like and follow our channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back here to check in on all the sports again next week. Until then, so long, everybody.